Oh, this is careening into bad places.
Here we go. One step at a time, don't be living on the line. I don't need a friend, I got more than on the mind. Sunshine in my brain, making everyone complain. Radio in my heart.
Hello and welcome to, are we still counting weeks? Is this week
11.
11?
Mhm.
Week 11 of the school year. I am Ms. Julie Rouse and I am the newspaper advisor at Bellevue West, and gorging himself on hot Cheetos right now is Mr. Aaron Stubbe, who is the yearbook advisor here at Bellevue West High School. And this is our weekly vlog, so welcome.
Welcome.
It's the West Wind. It's our paper this week that came out just yesterday. I talked about it a little bit last week that we met the deadline last Thursday, and so this is what it looks like in real form. We still publish in broadsheet. A lot of schools these days are going to tabloid because it's a little care about looking cool, I care about looking serious, and I think broadsheet papers are taken a little more seriously
Mm-hmm.
just in the real world. I mean, the New York Times is not a tabloid. You don't read the New York Times like this. You read the New York Times like this.
And that's what we're about here. New York Times.
Professional.
Based on a viewer comment, we are going to not be
Oh,
all
yes.
rainbows and sunshine
Yeah.
and lollipops and ice cream. We're going to talk about the dirty underbelly of advising and educating in America in the 21st century.
Viewer commented that, and it was a compliment, that you're always so positive and everything's always so good, and and I think that we do want to emphasize the positive. That is a plus side to doing this vlog, is that it forces us to look for good things in the other classes that we teach. And there are definitely, in our last issue, we had a really hard time getting a hold of coaches. Try to accommodate all different kinds of scheduling, but it can be really frustrating. And then there may have been a couple times where I said, well, then we just went on the story. I mean, I do get worked up. I do get angry. I get in my kids' faces every time, or every now and then when they need it, And
Every
it's not always sailing.
Mm-mm.
Kids make mistakes. I make mistakes.
I don't though.
And then on top of everything that we do with the kids, then there's always the political aspect of being an educator that can, at this point in time, can really weigh me down if I allow, and some days I do allow it too, where I just think, I should just go be a greeter at Walmart because everything I'm doing is completely futile and is undermined by politicians who haven't ever attended public school.
And if it's not weighing you down, the notion that there are people that have no concept of what's going on in a public school are, in DC making decisions about how public school should be run, that notion, if you're a thinking person, that notion is always in the back of your mind. During the day, it's always there that somewhere there's somebody who never went to public school, never sent their kids to public school. The closest idea they have to what public school is when they went out to see Bad Teacher this past summer. No.
It's Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah. It's always there. It's in the background, and it's something that you have to be aware of. And it's frustrating, and it's not all rainbows and lollipops like we've made it out to be. But one thing we were talking about the other day is 9 times out of 10, the problem's not with the kids. And that's how I think we know what we're doing.
If I wasn't fully interested in teaching kids, I don't know how I would get out of bed in the morning to come here.
Mm.
Like if the 9 out of 10, 9 times out of 10, it's the adults in the machine of education that make my job difficult. It's not the kids. If it was the other way around, then there'd be no point. There'd really be no point.
Mm-hmm.
coming
You're
here,
absolutely
so,
right.
Yeah.
And just to point out, we are saying 9 times out of 10. You can read between the lines.
There's usually one. Maybe some of you watching this were the one in your teachers' lives, and if you were, and you've graduated, and you know that you have changed, you should go back and tell that teacher that you know, a kid actually did this once.
Yeah.
I got a letter from a kid, maybe it was an email, 2 or 3 years after graduation, and she said, I've been reflecting on how I was in high school, and I am so sorry for the way that I treated you
Wow.
when I was in high school. And that,
That's pretty
you know,
awesome.
is, things like that are good to see because you see that kids actually get it once they get out of the shell of the public school. So, yeah.
A shell that has lots of cracks in it right now.
So, it's been kind of a crazy day, but it's the weekend. My weekend resolution, I am not working at all after 6 o'clock tonight. I am not grading anything. I'm not reading any essays. I'm not planning any lessons. I'm doing nothing for school. I will answer student emails if they have questions about their research project. Other than that, weekend off. I've worked 14 hours the last 3 weekends and I'm done.
I am the same way, but it's every weekend for me, so woo! Yay!
Can you read what that says up there in red?
Aww.
It says loser. So, all right, are we about done with this
I think-
dog and pony show?
I think we should probably pack it up. Yeah,
Have a great weekend, and please send us comments, send us questions. We'd love to address them on the air.
absolutely.
Anything. All right, peace out.
Bye.